McNutt is back from what looked like a very nice vacation, jumping off boats. I was watching. That looked like a lot of fun. Oh, D. Wood is ready to get after somebody today. Jeremy Fowler's got stories today. Oh, and that's not all. The Windman is up early today. Brian Windhorst getting us set for the playoffs, and Marcus Beers bringing the big swag this morning as well. We start with everything that needed to be settled in the NBA yesterday, and it was. Let's take you through the West in the order in which it happened. Steph and the Warriors visiting the Trailblazers. This one, all Steph, all Warriors right from the get-go. Golden State, 55 points in the first quarter and never looked back. Oh, Jonathan Kuminga. He is in postseason form. They win it big. They clinch the 6th seed, and we'll tell you in a moment why that was such a big deal. Meanwhile, LeBron James, Monica, and the Lakers, they get past the Jazz in one they needed.
Yeah, Greeny, this one was a little tricky at points, but ultimately the King and Anthony Davis, they combine and lead this Lakers squad to a much-needed win.
You see LeBron here. This is a game right now very much still within the balance, but LeBron knocking it down until the Lakers win. They clinch the 7th seed. They will host Minnesota tomorrow night in a play-in game. And speaking of the Timberwolves, I'm not sure any team had a worse day than they did yesterday.
Golly.
Watch Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson. We got a punch.
Oh, man.
What is this all about, Monica? We'll talk about it in a second. Watch this. That's Jaden McDaniels. He's an incredibly important part of that team, a great defender in particular. He broke his hand. He's out for the playoffs. Anthony Edwards, meanwhile, would find a way to win this thing as he gets it back and puts it up and good. T-Wolves win. They get the 8th seed, so they will face the Lakers. The Pelicans will be the 9. Here's where we stand in the West. Tomorrow night, Lakers and T-Wolves. That's for the 7 seed. Winner of that series will get Memphis. Loser of that game will take on Pelicans Thunder, the winner of that for the 8th seed. And we already know the 2 first-round matchups that are set will be Suns, Clippers, and Warriors and Kings. So that's where it falls out. Let me start with Wendy just quickly on the fallout from what happened with the Timberwolves, because now they got to turn around. They got to go to L.A. They got to play LeBron and Anthony Davis tomorrow night. What is the situation with Jalen McDaniels, and what is the situation with Rudy Gobert?
Well, Jaden McDaniels is going to be out indefinitely. No matter how long the Wolves run, he's probably done for the season. This is a huge factor for the Lakers because he is the primary defender on LeBron James. And just 10 days ago, Greeny, they played a very relevant game in Minneapolis. LeBron only went 7 of 19 shooting in that game, in large part because McDaniels was the primary defender, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. That is obviously a huge factor in this game going forward. And then the Rudy Gobert situation is a little bit unknown. The players after the game yesterday clearly made it sound like they wanted to move past this and get into the frame of mind for the play-in trip. The team, however, was not committal as to whether Rudy Gobert will travel with the rest of his teammates to Los Angeles today. I would expect he would. Number one, he apologized to the team both privately and publicly yesterday. And secondly, their backup center, Naz Reid, recently suffered a season-ending injury. So they would be down to playing Karl Towns out of position or their third-string center situation. Not what you want in a play-in game, especially this is the guy you traded 4 first-round picks and a bunch of young players for. You got Rudy Gobert for these moments. So a very delicate situation that the Timberwolves are having to go into, and the Lakers get a home game and a team under some drama.
McNutt, what? I mean, where do we even begin to unpack what was a dramatic and candidly horrendous final day there, and what chance do you give them tomorrow night in L.A.?
They're on borrowed time as far as I'm concerned. As dynamic as Anthony Edwards was, and I loved him post-game talking with Leah B. Olsen just about wanting a chance and doing whatever he needed to do to help the T-Wolves get over the hump. These are teams that are legitimately trending in the opposite directions. The Lakers have one of the best records, or the best record, since the All-Star break at 15-7, and this is a Timberwolves squad that is limping into their postseason opportunity. I would have loved to see this T-Wolves squad healthy, Greeny. I think that they have some young players. They got some size. It could have been a really interesting matchup with the Lakers, but at this point, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, the way that they're playing and the way the T-Wolves look, it's a wrap.
So this may have broken very well for the Lakers, all things considered, but still, you wind up in the play-in. That's not as good as having to play to get out of that round. And so if we look at the way all of yesterday played out, Wendy, who's the biggest winner in the West?
Golden State Warriors. They get the 6th seed. Will get the inexperienced Sacramento Kings starting this weekend. Don't have to travel. They can take a bus to those games. At the start of the week, Greeny, we saw the Clippers, Lakers, and Warriors all unsure where they were going to go. One team was going to get the Suns in the first round. Not ideal. One team was going to have to go into the play-in. Not ideal. One team was going to get the 6th seed, get the Kings, who are formidable, but inexperienced and weaker defensively. That was the sweet spot. The Warriors hit it, and it came right down to it because the Clippers and the Suns played a very tightly contested game yesterday, even though the Suns were not playing their regular players, came down to the final minute. The Clippers won, and get to go right back to Phoenix this weekend for Game 1 on Sunday. And Paul George will not be available to start that series. The Clippers updated over the weekend that he is still without a timetable to return. So you don't take anything lightly with Kawhi Leonard, but certainly the Suns have an advantage not having to face the Warriors and getting a wounded Clippers team.
And let's just consider where we are right now with Steph and company with the Warriors. They get an opening run matchup with Sacramento without meaning to disrespect the Kings. That's the team everyone wanted. They also will avoid Denver, who's been the best team, and Phoenix, who we all understand has been so dangerous, in that next round. So I'm not sure this thing could have broken any better than it did for the defending champ.
Greeny, you know me. I want to get up here and say that the Kings are about to shock the world. I can't quite with confidence, but I do think that this series may not be as easy as folks think, right? I think that Mike Brown's relationship with the Warriors is a interesting wrinkle in this series in terms of his familiarity and helping to coach his guys up. Now, is Sacramento all of a sudden going to turn into a defensive juggernaut? No, but the Warriors have not been a defensive juggernaut, particularly on the road. This is an incredibly efficient and high-rated offense when you look at what the Kings do. And trust me, I hear Draymond Green when he says that the regular season doesn't matter, and I would have to defer to him on his knowledge. I just wonder if those supporting guys outside of Clay, Draymond, and Steph really understand and have the ability to maybe flip the switch that a Draymond has.
Well, we're about to find out. The playoffs will begin for everyone else over the coming weekend. The play-ins are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll take you through all of that in a minute. Both of you stay close because we've got...
In the locker room. So if it was in the locker room, it's fine. I don't, it is what it is. They two grown men. Let's figure it out. But when you're in front of millions of people, both in the stadium and on television, whether it was a national televised game or whether it was a regional game, eyeballs are watching. Kids are watching. Things of that nature. I think it's a big deal because of that. Like no matter what he says, what could he have said that got under your skin that much that you want to haul off and sucker punch him in front of everybody? See, I call that a sucker punch because that's in front of everybody, and he wasn't expecting you to do it because you're his teammate in a stadium. This is not practice.
Got a long reach, too. Watch this, Key. He's so far away to hit him from there. He should be out of range. That's a footer, as you say, right? Oh.
Ooh. And then he hit him in the chest, though.
Lead right. That's not.
Like, if you're going to connect.
Key, here's the thing. It's not a big deal because he hit him in the chest. He'd have punched him in his face, it would have been different. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to say, hey, kids, go out and do that, but come on.
No, it's true. It's a big deal to me, though, Max, because of the situation and the audience that's watching.
Yeah.
And that's why.
You're airing dirty laundry, too.
Yeah, so if he would have, like, shoved him with two hands or like, man, get away from me, that wouldn't have been that big of a deal to me. But when you have a balled-up fist and you swing at somebody in front of all the eyeballs, and I know people will say, well, what's the difference in practice and in the stadium? Well, first of all, in practice, no one sees it. Well, they saw Draymond's. Well, that's because somebody gave them the damn tape. If that video wasn't out there, no one ever sees it. You can only imagine in 11 years in the NFL how many times I watched dudes get floored at practice by an ex-teammate. You see it. You see it for sure.
Meantime, the Timberwolves, that's the team we're talking about here, are in the play-in. They're right, the 8th seed. And Jaden McDaniels, for whatever reason, punches a wall, fractures his right hand out for the season.
Never goes well. When you punch a wall, you punch a locker, you kick a trash can, it never
doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well.
Doesn't seem like there's a lot of point to it.
You Gus Farad it with your helmet on the wall.
Hurt his neck.
Crack your neck. I mean, I watched a certain coach, and I'm not going to name any names, get mad one time. I was called J Max. We lose the game, and we go into the locker room, and the trash can is right there at the start of the locker room, and he's mad, and he kicks the trash can, but the trash can is not like one of those thin steel trash cans.
Oh, no.
It was a thick one. So, you know me, I said, well, you should have thought of that in the first half. You were so mad, you should have did that in the first half. Broke his toe.
Yeah, come on. Everything, like how many times, right?
Yeah, you don't do that. But when you're so frustrated by a play or whatever, you do something where you just like hit the thing and yeah, that's what happens.
This Timberwolves team, which seems to be in disarray,
good,
is playing the Lakers on Tuesday nights, tomorrow night, in the play-in game. It feels like it's just setting up for the Lakers, doesn't it, Key?
Oh, my God, yes. Perfect.
Yes.
And they got to make a decision on Rudy Gobert and throwing the punch, right? Do you suspend him as a Timberwolves organization, or do you let him play?
If I'm the T-Wolves, I'm letting them play. If I'm the league, it's something else.
But I don't think it's a league deal, though, right?
Right.
This
Well,
would be a
come
team
on,
deal.
man.
I would think.
You're not going to sit.
The league can't step into that. That would be they can't get in the middle of that.
You're not sitting Gobert when you have one game to win. Of course they're going to play him, right? And by the way, the Clippers get the Suns. Clippers, they almost got into it. Like, this is really setting up for the Lakers. Lakers and Warriors, they played